raison d'etre, reason for being, is to contribute to society. And therefore it attracts people in the company who are very outer directed. They think about others and not just about themselves, which is the essence of being humanity and humane. So there's a wonderful set of things that are foundations for the success of the company. The question is, when you make good products and make good money, what do you do with the money? Do you declare it as dividends to the shareholders? Is it your purpose in the company to increase the wealth of the shareholders? By the way, that was the philosophy taught in the United States and in the West for all these years, ever since Professor Milton Friedman, who was my professor at the University of Chicago, argued in his books that the purpose of a company is just to make money for the owners, the shareholders, and not to get distracted by social causes or let the owners who get a lot of the return decide what they want to do to help the world if they want to. So that philosophy was called shareholder philosophy. I'm happy to report that a business roundtable, which is where all the top CEOs belong, IBM belongs, General Electric, had bought into that philosophy all these years. A few days ago, the report came out. They've changed the mission of a business. The mission of a business is to make the world a better place. The mission is to show caring for the issues of poverty, issues of climate. Let's make a better world. And once that happens, companies will change. Well, it's already happened to Fujifilm. They didn't need the round table because Fujifilm's very commitment is to help the world become a better place for more people. For any company to be successful, it must have good management, good marketing, good innovation. And when Peter Drucker, the famous management expert, was asked, what does a company need to be successful? He said two things, innovation and marketing. If they only had innovation but poor marketing, they would not be successful. If they had clever marketing but nothing new to sell, they wouldn't be successful. So that formula, innovation and marketing, actually brought Komari-san and myself together in what has been a fusion called the Kotler-Komari methodology. Komari representing the innovation intensity and myself representing the marketing intensity. Put together, I think that goes a long way, those two, to explaining the success of the company, which is outstanding. I am so excited about it because as a marketer who knows a lot about branding and defining a company as special and unique and different, we need something to say that makes it different. And what that message says, never stop, is that innovation in a world which is full of problems and changing all the time, you can't stand still. A company that stands still will disappear. A company that is following the changes, seeing opportunities in change. In fact, how do you look at change? Is change a threat or is it an opportunity? To Fujifilm, it's an opportunity. And so are all these problems. Give me problems, I want to work on them. So never stop means that until the world is a perfect place, we should never stop. The idea is very, very compelling. The sense of it is there's so much to do, and we'll never stop until there's no more problems to solve.
Never stop. Fujifilm. Value from innovation.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. More words from the man himself. Innovation, marketing, persistence, never stop. Capping our session and continuing our discussion on diversity, social responsibility, and business growth. The theme of our next panel discussion. We would like to call back on stage our distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Sadia Kibria, to please return and join us. And presenting our panelists this afternoon, may we call on stage Chief TESDA Specialist, Mr. Noel Cuevas, and the youngest director of the Department of Education Philippines, currently the Director of the Public Affairs Office of the Secretary of DepEd, Mr. June Arvin Pudoy. Let's give our gentlemen a warm round of applause. Rounding out the panel, we have an acknowledged international educator, author, education consultant, and entrepreneur, motivational and inspirational speaker with a tremendous speaking voice, I have to say. He is currently advocating a multi-sector advocacy program called Life Skills for Life Success. In essence, about the nurturing of the compassionate heart, not just the thinking mind. Let's welcome back on stage Professor Henry S. Tenedero. And our beloved moderator for this session, we welcome back Ms. Jermaine Reyes. Ladies and gentlemen, our panel discussion on diversity, social responsibility, and business growth. Let's give them all a warm round of applause.
Thanks so much. That was a very inspiring talk that you delivered this morning, coming from a brand positioning talk from Laura Rees. Our beloved speaker, Sadia, provided a new way of thinking about our brand positioning through socialpreneurship. I would like to first speak with our other panelists to just determine what is your take from the talk of Sadia.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for inviting the Department of Education for today's event. Firstly, I think the Department of Education has been partnering with a lot of very responsible corporations recently for a lot of our projects, and we appreciate the fact that I think we have to remind our businesses or corporations every now and then that there's actually a social responsibility that they have to fulfill, and I think there has to be an underlying motive to actually change the world at the end of the day.
Good afternoon for inviting Technical Education and Skills Development for this authority for this forum. For TESDA, we have recently revised our policies in terms of trainings. We included environmental education in our curriculum and our standards to protect our environment, and also entrepreneurship program in all the programs we offer. We embedded entrepreneurship skills.
Okay. One thing that really struck me in the speech of Sadia is the question why. How many of you take MRT? I'm sure at some point in our life we have taken MRTs, right? Or LRT. If you look at closely to the people taking MRT, they are alive, but they look like zombies. Why? Because they know the what and they know the how to work and how to go to work. But essentially in life, if you know your why, I tell you, your what and how will be very easy. Yes, I believe in YOLO, but I believe more in YODO. You only die once. And to live a meaningful life, you need to experience many short deaths in your life. I have experienced up close and personal short deaths. Congestive heart failure condition, full surgery, I'm still alive. I still must have a why in my life. At the end of the day, I think and agree with Sadia that what is the heart of marketing as an education? The heart of education is in educating the human heart. Because to me, success is a combination of three things: IQ, talino; EQ, puso; DQ, diskarte. If you have the three, grit, intelligence, and heart, you will have a meaningful life. Take it from a man who has seen death up close and personal. But I'm still alive. Still alive.
Let me just take up on that discussion you have on why, understanding our whys. Sadia, would there be an easy way by which we can really emerge that the why in our in what we're doing in our company for our brand? Is there an easy way, or please help us?
Does it? Oh, it's working. See, you just heard Philip. He said that earlier the businesses and the companies, the main goal was to make money for shareholders. And what did they do? So they changed the objective to better world. And this is what completely changed their theory of working, you know. So, see, you have to think. If I share a little journey of mine, right? I remember, so far if I remember my childhood, it was all about studying. My parents were all the time, oh, it's just studies you have to do and all. So I was like, okay, this is my main goal, you know. I have to study. Okay, fine. Studies finished. What's next? Get a job. Got a job. Married. Okay. Next goal is kids. Had kids. And finally a time came, you know. I was living one goal at a time. And finally a time came. I just looked back at my life and I was like, okay, all those goals achieved. What's next? And you know, you have to look back, learn from past, learn from the history. And this is what I did, and I was like, you know what? No. I think I need to make some change. You have to have a sensitive heart and soul, you know. So far, I really don't understand that if you're somebody in pain, how come you ignore and walk away? So you have to feel your own emotions, your own soul. And that's where, you know, you say, okay, why am I living? Why am I sent to this earth, you know? And why there's a difference between the life I'm living and other people living? Why is there the difference of resources among us, you know? So, and that's when you think deeply, you have to find the purpose. Think. Look around, see what is there which is with you, what differentiates you from others. No two people are similar. No two people are similar at all. So you see, there are many hints you can get. Look at the sky. Why? And this deep thinking will give you the answer, and that's what you're going to focus on, you know. And that what will lead, what will define your future. So now I know, right? I'm working, I volunteer in my own personal capacity. In Canada, I'm running an NPO, which is actually run by all the women in my area. And women, they came to me and they were like that, you know what, I was just a simple housewife, and just through your WhatsApp group now, I'm working on a cause and I feel that I'm doing something, I'm contributing something. So I've been working all my life for the betterment of other people, right? And the point where I felt, okay, fine, I'm changing the life of few people, maybe few thousands. Why not millions of people? So I have to play my part, and this is my objective. Yes, I've been a housewife. I've been doing business and all, but now my purpose of living is to make this world a better place. So to initiate that why, you have to have your passion, your fire. You need to have that. So look around, see what's different, and that's, you start exploring your why.
So we're actually talking about two levels here, one on a corporate level and then on an individual level, looking for meaning in yourself, what you are there for. And for companies on a corporate level, what is the purpose of your company? And just going back to the brand positioning, as earlier mentioned, socialpreneurship is going to be a differentiator that a company can latch on.
Yes. See, as I was like telling, I'm reiterating the things. Like why companies who are doing good and all that, like Forever 21, it's selling the cheapest fashion very fast. You will see some look on the runway and it's available there. What else a clothes lover, a teenager could have, but it failed because there was no purpose behind it. Even I was looking at when I was doing some research on brands, so I was like looking more deeply, and I found that Forever 21 was not really attached to a very prominent cause, just a part of a CSR even. I think last report was just updated on the website somewhere back in 2016 or 2017. Whereas the world is changing, the consumer is changing every day. So we have to remain up to date. And we can't ignore, we can't become an ostrich where the sandstorm is coming, you just hide your neck in the sand and you say, oh, storm will go away. No, we have to see, the world is changing. I have to change. I have to change myself. And you know what, socialpreneurship actually, before it is started by corporates, it starts with individuals. I want to work for a company which has some values. Why would I work for a company, which has no value, which is just about making money? I mean, all the years long, it has always been about profitability. So, yeah, we need to make the change.
So I was wondering whether, from an education point of view, or even from a science and technology point of view, whether we have instituted or understood what is meaningful for the millennials and the Gen Zs, on top of what we have developed as curriculum already. But I guess it's also connecting what is meaningful for the millennials, the Gen Zs, and developing those programs from an education point of view and from science point of view.
I'll just, I was looking at the numbers. So I found that by 2020, I think the population, please correct me if I'm wrong, the population of Philippines will be somewhere around 103 million. And I think the millennials are right now making 1/3 of the population are millennials, And by 2025, they will be actually 75% of the population. So, you see, you need to teach them. This is the right time. You need to train the brains, their hearts. And I believe educational sector and technology, because it's everywhere,
it's gonna play a vital role in educating the brand, the individual brands, because these people will be working for corporates. If they are well aware of the values they believe in, they can easily connect to the businesses. So yes, education, and they're going to have the most important role in this. Yeah, they're going to play the vital role in this.
For this, as I mentioned earlier, in our program offerings, we have partners with several private and public institutions. We inculcate to the stu- to the stu- in the it is included in the curriculum that we introduce values education, so that to care for our environment, and also to select technologies in the program offering that is geared toward caring for our environment. Like we programs in refrigeration, to counter the climate change, the use of proper refrigerant in the air conditioning unit that we're using. We train people youth that they know what is the proper and good technologies, in example like the refrigeration. That is very good in preserving our environment.
In the Department of Education, our core values actually radically state that we have to be makajos, makabayan, makatao, at makakalikasan. And there has been a movement inside DepEd to return back to those core values. And I think we could actually relate that to the current situation right now, wherein we're trying to review the K-12 curriculum, and there have been a lot of proposals to come up or to revive the good manners and right conduct subject in our schools as well. That is to not to teach, but to provide examples for the youth, for millennials, about the values and the things that they should do for the world as well.
Values are not taught, but caught, right? We don't need to legislate good manners and right conduct for people to follow. GMRC should be embedded in the heart and mind of the human learner. Unfortunately, educational systems around the world, they teach for memorization. Why not teach for understanding? I'll go a bit personal. I am now in the field of education, but I was not trained to become an educator. I was a certified kick out in high school and a constant flunker in college. My son went to Brent International School, but I kept on telling him, hey bro, your grades will not define you. Your school, no matter how prestigious your school, is only a name. What will define you is your character as a human person. At the end of the day, you can have a beautiful house, but if it's not a home, you're nothing but a second-rate copycat. Humane marketing, to me, is very personal. I will not judge you by virtue of your diploma, because many people have diplomas but do not have work. People have work but with no diploma. Therefore, the way to understand humane marketing is to believe that if others can, so can you. I always talk to myself. Do you talk to yourselves?
Yes.
But not too long, okay? You talk to yourself to empower you to believe that if others can succeed, so can you. You face the mirror. You tell the mirror, you're so beautiful, you're so handsome. No one else will go against you, correct? Except reality. But so be it. The beauty of a person is not gauged only aesthetically. You can put the best cosmetics in the world. I keep on telling the teachers, you can put a lot of shinshu, But since you will not make you appealable and engaging, is the human heart in you. Not even flawless English. Not even flawless English. I reprimanded the teacher, Mom, may I go up, may I go up? No, this is an English class, you have to say it in complete English. Look, we speak better English compared to our some counterparts. I was in one Asian country, they were holding hands. The lady said, I love you very much. Wherever you go, I go. Wow. Wherever you are, I are. English will not define the intelligence of the human person. It's your heart in marketing. Put me at
What I'm hearing is that, again, from a two-level point of view, the millennials and the Gen Zs are looking for meaning, and probably, just connecting that with, the number of situations that we hear outside, stress, etc. This generation now is looking for meaning, and therefore also, us as marketeers, we can do our part by conveying what is the meaning and purpose of our company, so that at least the new generation, the millennials and the Gen Zs, can identify themselves with us. So I was just going to the point of the SDGs, Sadia. That's a sort of a cheat sheet for us, for marketers, right? In order for them to understand